Hey guys, what's going on? I just want to first off say sorry. Didn't get a video posted yesterday, Friday. So we're gonna put two up today. This one will be up first. I just got done editing it. What this video is going to be is September 1st, last week's Friday Night Magic finals. It was me versus Patrick, and we're basically gonna break down what happened in the game. I commentaried after I reviewed it. Anyways, we're going to be doing that every week. Every Friday Night Magic final is going to be streamed, recorded, reviewed, and commentated on by me or by people who join me like Caleb or Patrick, whoever else wants to hang out with me, watch these games, hopefully for your benefit. That kind of gives you another exciting factor of coming to play Friday Night Magic, because maybe you'll be put on YouTube. Maybe you'll show your deck off to all our viewers. So first, sorry that we didn't get yesterday's video up. Secondly, we're going to do this every week. Third, hope you enjoy it. Okay, Jake here. We're going to be reviewing the stream of the final match at September 1st FNM. We have Patrick on the left. He's playing Ad Nauseam. Myself, playing on the right with Counter's Company, Abs and Counter's Company. I did a deck tech about that deck in a previous video. I'll share that link below. Basically going over what that deck does. This is a very interesting matchup. Two combo decks playing against each other. I can't remember who won the die roll. Maybe we haven't done it yet. Nope, here we go. Looks like that was a 6 or a 7. And it looks like Patrick demolished me on the die roll. So this is very interesting. Both of these decks don't really have much interaction with other decks. Both combo decks. I always rave about how Counter's Company is one of the faster combo decks. Ad Nauseam is really strong, and Ad Nauseam might be the best combo deck, to be honest, because it just wins. You can win at instant speed, which is nice. That's a big advantage. However, sometimes it loses to itself. Now, I don't have anyone here to banter with me and discuss about these two decks, but basically, I'm going to give the rundown. What Ad Nauseam's trying to do is, it looks like I mulliganed here. Against combo, you kind of got. We both knew what each other were playing, and against combo, you kind of have to keep the right hand. You can mulligan more aggressively. Can't really keep on so hands if you can lose turn 3 or 4. But what Ad Nauseam's trying to do is basically get cast Ad Nauseam, obviously. But there's a couple combo pieces with it. I'm mulliganed again down to 5. Maybe I was too aggressive. I think I remember correctly that first hand was decent. I don't think that second hand had any lands. So what Ad Nauseam's trying to do is they will be trying to either get enough mana out to cast Angel's Grace, pay 1 white mana. You can't lose the game this turn, and if you were to take damage, that would reduce your life total less than 0. Reduce it to 1 instead. So that makes them not lose the game that turn. And then they cast Ad Nauseam, which allows them to pick up their entire deck. What it says is flip over the top card of your library, put that card in your hand, and lose life equal to its converted mana cost. But since you can't lose that game, you can go well below 0. And when you do that and you pick up your whole deck, they use 3 Simian Spirit Guides to cast Lightning Storm or Conflagrate to basically just deal 20 damage with 1 burn spell. Or if they don't have Angel's Grace, they can also use Phyrexian Unlife, because they don't lose life for going below 0. And this is Ad Nauseam plays a lot of filter cards, a lot of 1 mana draw spells. It allows them basically just to set up the and I missed a land drop. I remember this game. This game was not a fun game. When you play a combo and miss land drops, you kind of hurt yourself. And I think I missed another land drop. I didn't even fetch. I didn't fetch for that reason alone, just because just to have a better chance of drawing a land. You always get that feeling like when you don't do something that you should do. Like people usually fetch at the end of turn, get the land out, and then you're like, well, I'm not gonna do it because statistically I want a better chance of getting a land. And then there's 5 non-land cards on top of your library. I think that's happened to me more than ever. No, I wanted to. It would have been very hard to beat this deck with this many draw spells. He's getting every combo piece he can. I would have had to have gone off on turn 3, which is possible. Ad nauseam does not spoils of the vault for the card he scried to the top. I don't know why he did that. I don't know why. It's just to hit his land drops, I suppose. Look at that. That's 5 turns, 5 lands. I have 0, or I have 1, and I just threw that card to the. I just threw it to the table. I'm just basically waiting for him to beat me. And there's the card he needed. So 1 white, Angel's Grace. Can't lose the game this turn. Ad nauseam. So this is what he does. He picks up his whole deck. I think I made him go through with it just to show the camera what he does. Lightning Storm. So what Lightning Storm does is it's 3 mana, 2 red and 1. Does 3 damage, and then you may discard a land card to add a charge counter, and each charge is worth 2 damage. So as an ad nauseam player, you got to hold priority when you cast it, so you can look at all those amazing non-land cards. You get to hold priority so you can discard the lands yourself to get up to 20 some damage. But yeah, and that's how ad nauseam wins. Absinthe has a lot better of a sideboard. They have a lot more options to kind of hate on ad nauseam. To be fair, I guess I don't have that many cards in mine, but a lot of cards would have like discard spells. I used to have Thoughtseizes in my sideboard. I took them out. I think I put in Tide Hollow Scholars, which is pretty good as well. It's a creature, you need creatures that do multiple things. I definitely put in the Tide Hollow Scholars. Looks like I'm siding out a lot of stuff. I can't think of what else. I think I brought in Abrupt Decays and Kasali Pride Mages as well for like the Phyrexian Unlife. Because that card can be quite annoying. I forgot what Patrick's had it in. I had invited him to do this review with me, and he didn't want to do it because he didn't want to. I don't know. He didn't want to do it. No, we didn't even touch the life that game. We ended up at 2020, and then he burned me for 21. There's the Conflagrate. That's out of all the cards to accidentally slip up. If this was a real tournament, that would have sucked. Because a lot of ad nauseam players don't run 2 win cons. They don't run both Lightning Storm and Conflagrate. And the reason why that's a big deal is like, I mean, I might have things like Nevermore that says you can't cast certain spell, and then he's just screwed. You see below the mat we're using, it's a really nice mat. It's really good quality. So we actually have a few of those left. You guys can come and, you know, grab them if you play a lot of Magic with friends or any card games. Okay, game 2. Jake Powell is on the play. I think both people are keeping. So, fetch shock. Fetch for a Temple Garden, shock in the Temple Garden, cast Birds of Paradise. The ideal turn 1 for Counters Company. The Scry lands, not often seen in Modern, except for in this deck. We play Devoted Druid turn 2. Oh, it looks like I missed a second land drop. See, you can keep risky hands like that because you know Thoughtseize. You know that Ad Nauseam does not play. And I'm just going to play much removal. So I was able to keep that risky hand. Looks like I have... He just Thoughtseize a combo piece out. If I was able to resolve that Vizier with Druid out, I'd have unlimited mana. Unlimited infinite mana. Or I would have infinite green mana. And with a Ronus in hand, as well as Duskwatch Recruiter in hand. That's just dangerous. Play with my hand revealed. So I paid a green mana and paid put a -1 counter on Devoted Druid to untap him, pay another green mana. Be able to get 4 mana total for Collected Company, put 2 creatures. And then there is the other combo piece. So now I can produce infinite green mana. There I go. There I go. I think I get a little too cautious here. Sometimes you see that I have infinite mana and Ronus, so I can make Devoted Druid basically 100 with trample. But I think I got a little overcautious just in case he had Slaughter Pack, and I started going through my deck with Duskwatch Recruiter to look for Walking Ballista. Because if he had Slaughter Pack, that kind of blows it out and I have to wait a turn. Not a big deal, but... And I think he tells me, you know, I think he tells me he doesn't have it, so... So I give Devoted Druid a lot of power, and that's how that combo can go off. That was a turn 3 win. Patrick didn't do anything wrong that game. He played everything right. He thought he took the right card. I mean, sometimes with cards like Collected Company, you just get lucky. So this is our first FNM video we're going to be putting out. We're going to try to put every FNM final video out on YouTube every week. It's really awesome. We might see a lot of different decks because our meta at the store is very diverse. We got goblins sometimes, we got elves, we have Burn, Ad Nauseam, Counters Company, Jeskai Control, Death Shadow, Eldrazi, Affinity, Merfolk. We have some brews. We have a really cool Soul Flayer brew by one of our regulars. It's really good. It gives pretty much makes for a 4/4 double strike, flying, hexproof, vigilant, indestructible creature on possible turn 3, which is insane. Playing this deck is scary when you get Pented Prism on turn 2. You can almost go off turn 3. If he has a Simian Spirit Guide in hand, he can go off turn 3. It's the fastest he can go. Pretty sure I was dreading the loss right here because he has 4 Simian Spirit Guides and 4 Ad Nauseams. It's not unrealistic that he has both of those in hand. He obviously also has to hit another untapped land though. to do that. Pentaprism again. Now if Patrick touched my life there. I don't even know how he got to 17. Oh, he's got City of Brass out. That's how. City of Brass, tap. Whenever it taps, deal 1 damage to yourself. A lot of people wonder why you play City of Brass instead of Mana Confluence. Is because it does a damage to yourself. So whenever instead of losing a life. So if you have Angel's Grace, you can pay 1 mana and it does nothing to you. I mean, if you're at 1 life, you're still at 1 life. Sitting here, I think I have a combo piece in hand to go get the Vizier. Yeah, I think I just go for it because he's tapped out. So, if he lets Court of Calling resolve, Vizier comes in without any interaction, and I can get infinite mana anytime. He can't stop it unless he had like sudden shock. So he Echoing Truth it back to my hand, so I could not win this turn. It's a very good play. Because I can't win. Now, obviously, like that's a weird move. I just got 1 put back into my hand. However, I wanted to be able to have a chance to win next turn. So to do that, I need Devoted Druid to be able to tap. So he has Summoning Sickness right now. He can't tap for mana. So I had to wait. So I got another one out just in case. I think that land drop Patrick missed was very, very bad for him. He's got Pentaprism with 1, another Pentaprism with 1, Gemstone Mine with 1. He uses any of those manas, he loses it forever. I think I got pretty fortunate here. I think either I had a second Court of Calling in hand, or I drew it. So paid 5 mana, 2 from the Druid, and then the lands. Rearranging my mana. Poured for 2. Patrick is very unhappy when I cast that second Court of Calling. That's what makes the company's deck so brutal. You have 4 Cocos, 4 Chords, 2 really powerful cards to be able to go get combo pieces. I don't know what he had in hand, so I think and I tapped my mana really weird, right? I didn't have to tap the Devoted Druid with that and put a counter on him, but I knew that I was going to get the infinite mana anyways, so I left it up like that so I can play Tide Hollow Sculler just in case he had. And I probably should have played that first, to be honest. Pretty bad misplay in case he had like another Echoing Truth or another counter or something. But he has Lab Maniac, 2 Angel's Grace. And I think that's a Phyrexian Unlife. Yes, it is. So I took one of the Angel's Grace away. Think then I play Coco for. I kind of skipped a step of adding all the mana, or I guess I added like 100,000 mana. I think is what I said. So here's where I have another combo in play with Vizier Remedies, Kitchen Finks, and Viscera Seer. Vizier Remedies has -1 counter, can't be put on creatures. So when the Kitchen Finks comes back with Persist, that's me saying I'm gonna get infinite life. And with Viscera Seer, when you sack a creature, you get to scry 1. So you sack Kitchen Finks, scry 1, Kitchen Finks comes back to the battlefield. This is with no -1 counters on it, gain 2 life. So what I just did there was basically a quick scry, and I dumped my whole hand on board. I know Ad Nauseam doesn't play board wipe, so I wasn't really scared about it. Patrick's pretty dead in the water at this point. Like, he just was very unlucky to not get the lands and the combo pieces he needed. He obviously had Unlife and Angel's Grace and the Pented Prisms. If he ever drew an Ad Nauseam, or didn't have to use that Echoing Truth, he would have been just fine. Even if he had Ad Nauseam right here, he can't play it. Because he needs one more land, one more access to mana. You can't fault him for keeping that hand. I mean, looks like 2 lands, 2 Pented Prisms, sleight of hand. It's very good. So I'm adding a lot of mana there, casting a Walking Ballista. I think I put like 50,000 on him. And he stops me before the last damage and casts Angel's Grace. So that means no more abilities can be used, so I can't respond with another damage in response. So he goes to 1. And then I go to his upkeep, and I do it again, but he drew another Unlife the previous turn. So now I'm waiting 1 more turn. This is why I think that this deck should run Bantu's Last Reckoning or something of the sort, because if he board wiped me here, that would be devastating, because even though I have infinite life, he still has Lab Maniac. And I think that a board wipe would be tremendous right here. It would cripple me in a sense. Then he could play Unlife another turn. Maybe Damnation is probably better than Bantu's Last Reckoning, but and then when I get him down to 0, there's the handshake. I start doing poison damage to him because it's 1 at a time with Walking Ballista. And that's the game. It's a very unfun game 1. Games 2, Counters Company just got lucky. He did bring in Supreme Verdict. Okay, so he does have the board wipe. I guess that's the better board wipe. The best board wipe, I suppose, you could bring in. I like Bantu's Last Reckoning because you don't really care about your lands being untapped, especially when you have things like Lotus Bloom and Pented Prisms. So that's FNM September 1st. That's the first of a Fatal Push promo September. That's all. Looks like that's what we all boarded in against each other. Conflagrate's really good too. If he's in a pinch, he can like cast it for a bunch and then separate a bunch of creatures. Fact Negation, that can be very, very, very good. You can counter my Walking Ballista for free. Thanks for watching, and feel free to subscribe. Check our links below. Check out our free comment what you want us to see, and thank you very much. Take it easy. I gotta go.
All right, hey Jake, thanks, bud.